Hey, I'm Bopsto, the Elder Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
and we are the
The
Anime
anime
Boys.
boys!
Anime Boys.
Anime boys.
And today we have quite a special episode, I'd say.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's
it's
it's something very different, at least for in terms of Red's usual watching habits.
yeah, cause I don't know.
But
I haven't watched something
well,
this this
this special, something this
something this special since high school DxD.
yeah, I don't know if I put it that high because like that high school days is pretty dang hit high, but I understand where you're coming from. But anyways, today we are covering My Dress Up Darling.
AKA
I
fuck doll Barbie.
fuck Barbie. So what you think of My Dress Up Darling, Red?
Uh it Man, it was very tongue in cheek, most of it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Oh no, I
was.
if I could describe this series in one word, I'd probably say sexual tension.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's probably
Like
the
this is
biggest.
sexual tension. This series,
Yeah, it is
yeah,
crazy. If y'all were looking
uh-huh.
for an anime to sit back and just get a thrill, yeah, this is probably the one. This is this
Yeah,
is
it's very it's very entertaining, I'd
yeah.
say. Um,
So let's
but
just get right into it,
well,
Bobsto.
before that, I have some things to say. Well, first of all, if you've not seen this series, we highly recommend you watch it before you watch this episode.
Yeah.
And if you like cosplay, sexual tension, and wholesome relationships, then you are sure to enjoy My Dress Up Darling. So join us as we follow the tale of two people from seemingly different worlds that find common ground through the pursuit of their own passions.
Ooh, fancy
Yeah,
guy. I like that
you like
intro.
you like that? You
That
like
was a,
that one?
that was I like it. I like it.
You like,
Tell me
yeah, I
more.
did. All right. Well, you see, we open up our first episode on our main character Wakanda Gojo. We'll probably just call him Gojo for this podcast.
Yeah, it
But
starts off with
he
a
has a passion for the oh,
I said it I was gonna say it starts off with the
yeah.
most based Becky right off the bat.
Ah, dude, yeah, man, fuck that Becky. She don't
Fucking
know what she's
Becky.
talking about.
I hate
Don't
you,
listen to her,
Gojo.
Gojo.
I hate you.
Hey, fucking, Gojo has quite the passion for his family business, which is they create Hina dolls, which are basically these traditional Japanese dolls.
Yeah, hentai dolls. I mean Hina dolls.
Hina dolls.
No,
Come on,
it's if
man.
for anybody who doesn't know what
Yeah,
a Hina doll is, it's a very, very, really pretty traditional powder white Japanese doll, and they wearing
yeah,
traditional like what do they call those clothing?
like a
Boss
kimono,
kimono.
like
It's
like,
it's really
like you
pretty.
use like kimono.
But
Um,
basically, Gojo and his grandfather run a shop, and it's all Hina dolls, and he ends up
yeah,
finding his own passion through Hina dolls and spends
yeah.
all of his time making it just to
Hmm.
get to the skills of what his grandfather pursues.
Hmm.
But
I yeah, no, that's all good. I'll say there's one thing with Gojo's character I really like, and it's something that's been actually quite the common trend with a lot of current slice of life stories. Is you take a character like Gojo, they're like a loner, and then there's a person that will enter their life that completely just turns their world upside down, and they become a lot more proactive throughout the course of like the
yeah,
story.
it really is
And
interesting to
I,
see the character progression in this.
mhm,
If there's one thing an anime does that I just really really appreciate, it's really good character progression. Um,
yeah. Um, Not just I'd say also like relatable characters as well.
yeah, because Gojo is
Like
the
Gojo's
pinnacle of an introvert.
he is a very much a loner. He doesn't do any extracurricular activities. He
No.
doesn't. hang out with anybody. He literally goes to school and goes back to his grandfather's shop and works on his craft.
And let's just say my man's got skills, but he kind of creeps me out. He kind of
He's
seems
pretty
like
good.
he gets to acting like Jeff Dunham
Listen,
sometimes.
dude, when you're an introvert that doesn't listen, when you're an introvert that doesn't hang out with people that much, you're gonna do some weird stuff like talk to your disembodied doll head
But let's get one thing straight.
and whatnot.
Grandpa makes pretty dolls for 48 years, and don't you forget
Yeah,
it.
dude, he's 48 years. Don't you forget the grandpa's a Chad. I love it. I love
So
Gojo's grandfather.
he has been actually been making Hina dolls for 48 years, which is really interesting because, man,
Yeah.
imagine spending your entire life to perfecting a singular craft and just,
Hmm.
man, nailing it. Imagine the satisfaction
Yep.
behind that. And I could imagine, the relationship he has with Gojo is very strong because he shares the same passion with him. Um,
Hmm. Oh yeah. So
Grandpa
and that's
is,
one.
excuse me, Grandpa
Oh
is
no,
like
no, you're good.
probably one of my favorite characters just because of the
He's
acceptance of Gojo. Anything this boy
well. It's
does.
yeah. I don't know. Poor granddad nearly dies a couple times in this
Yeah,
series.
he really
Yeah.
does.
Oh man. Yeah, man. But no, I really like Grant. Actually, so what I'd say is like with what the core theme is, we'll probably get into here in a bit. Whatever. Our main girl Maureen, she's like the like almost like the person who's like the stating of like the main theme of the series, and then the grandfather's like the reinforcer of like what the theme of this series is what I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. But
Like she's the statement. He's there to like reinforce that
right.
statement. And some of the other scenes we'll get into, but
Essentially, it's just this really, really good anime about this man figuring out his true potential, uh, which is
yeah.
Gojo, and this
Hmm.
female who also gets to indulge in her passion through this
Yeah.
man. And, given all that, really cool character progression between both of them, I really enjoy the relationship that they have with one another. Where, as
Yeah.
goofy and as crazy and embarrassing as all of it is, they really get each other and understand each other, which is
Yeah.
explained
Hmm.
a lot better in the sense of when he first met her, which was um
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
he
great.
so he's sitting in his class just, chilling, vibing,
He's
ignoring
big chiller,
everyone.
vibing.
Just ignoring everyone. And then all of a sudden you hear, "Oh shit." And then you just see this girl doing a triple kickflip into a
She
desk.
fucking it's not so much the way she falls. It's just to me, it's like the speed at which this girl falls.
Like I
And this is like
said,
nearly fatal.
it
Like this
really
is like, oh
is.
man, if this is any other movie, this just fucking kill you. Maybe she's I don't know. Maybe she's got small brains, so her skull protected brain.
If we were in Mortal Kombat, you'd be hearing fatality. It was bad.
You would see pieces of her all over the fucking classroom.
But like I said in my notes, I said girl hit girl hit the flying kickflip by Ryu into a head bash of my man's desk.
Ah,
Uh,
dude. Um, in my note, I put Marion introduces herself by getting a fatal concussion.
it
Like that's
is
some like football player shit, dude.
it's really really interesting that this is how they introduce each other, the characters,
Normally
and
it's like a scene or like some like wacky hijinks, but no, it's just straight up. Oh shit! I fall on desk.
yeah. But essentially, this is the main female character. Her name is Kitagawa. Um,
Yeah,
Kitagawa is apparently introduced as one of the most popular girls in school. She does modeling, but outside of school,
yeah,
she is a total, absolute recluse. Um,
yeah. Well, no, she's very social. She's a major otaku.
Yeah, she
Like
likes
she's not reclusive.
anime.
What
She
she
likes
has
she's into manga. She's into cosplaying. She's into literally anything. It's just about when it
yeah.
comes
And
to
this girl will eat that shit up.
she is
Um,
the weeb. She's the weeb queen.
yeah. Well, since she's Japanese, she wouldn't be a weeb because you kind of don't to be a weeb. You have to not be Japanese.
Well, I
You have
didn't
to
know
be a
that.
foreigner.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
the elder weeb hit me with facts.
The other weeb. Yeah. Yeah.
But
But she is a
immediately,
major otaku to the point to where there's like a scene where she was talking about how she was hanging out with one of her friends, and like a guy approaches her and like mocks one of her little. He's basically negging her. He's like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's just kind of stupid, but you know, it's cute that you like it." And she immediately like fucking puts him in his place,
yeah, it
and
just
she's like, "Oh, yeah,
stalker.
of course, be into this if it was on my bag."
Oh my
And that's
goodness.
where um one of um this is one of the first parts where the main core theme kicks in. That is the encouragement to like follow your passion without any like shame or regret. Because she's
Yeah.
like this girl. She's the popular girl. She's like almost she's like the Japanese in most like stories like this, she'd be like the Japanese equivalent of like a valley girl.
Yeah.
But here she is like openly like she has that aesthetic, but she is like openly into like anime and like I guess you could say almost like nerd culture
Yeah.
or like otaku culture.
She's pretty. I'd have to say she really hits me with the Tomohiro vibe. Um,
Yeah, she's kind of a Tomohiro. Yeah,
yeah.
she's
Uh, for our original fans who know what we're talking about, uh, they'll understand Tomohiro. But
yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely would say she's definitely, especially because she's like the first like connection that opens him up. Yeah, no, I definitely I'd agree with that. But uh some other so like Gojo being like quite the loner gets reinforced further because there's a scene where he's like getting taken advantage of by his classmates
yeah, and
because
then
they're all supposed to put up the classroom together, but usually what happens is most of them walk out and usually gets left on like one person.
you're like, man, I
And
gotta go to work. Can you get this for me?
yo, dude, can you
Sorry,
do this?
sorry, I just
And
stuttered
that's
like
when
crazy.
Kitagawa comes in, and she's like the only one that stays and helps.
Yeah, the prodigal woman returns to help clean up the classroom. Uh,
She comes, she comes in, she spits facts.
she says, "Quit letting people walk all over you, you nerd. Now do what I
Yeah,
say."
dude. I do, do want to say she gives them some words of encouragement. These leave a pretty big impact on Gojo. Until oh shit, doll's falling out of my bag. And dude, this guy does a fucking dolphin dive for that
Dude,
shit.
he moves so fast. It reminds me of
Yeah,
what was his name? Oh, Gojo.
yeah, Gojo. I was about to,
That was the joke.
yeah,
I was trying to.
yeah, no. Yeah, no, Gojo is our second Gojo for this
Yeah,
series.
the original
I mean,
Gojo
not
is
for
from our
this podcast.
first video, or our first podcast. If y'all ringed
Yeah,
into that, it's from Jujutsu Kaisen. Um,
yeah.
but man, but anyway, it cuts to
Hmm.
him grabbing the just absolute fuck out of his doll head,
Yeah.
and
And he's like super embarrassed. He's ready for like barring for Kitagawa to start like mocking him, but she doesn't.
she's like,
In
"This is
fact, she
super duper
takes.
cool." She just really hits the vibe, man. I really
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. She just really killed
Hmm.
it. Um,
Yeah, no, definitely. She takes very much big interest in like seeing what other people are passionate about,
yeah, but then it
and
cuts
that's
back
like,
to him being at home, and he's getting distracted thinking about Kitagawa, and he's working on his Hina dolls, and he cuts his finger, and Grandpa had to bust out the med kit.
Yeah,
he,
dude.
he had to wait a
Yo, bro,
total.
you
He
must
had
be
to.
anemic or yo, bro, I heard you're fucking anemic or something. Here's a band-aid.
He literally gets the hospital out for a cut. um,
Yeah,
but anyway, he's just basically he's just struggling with his feelings towards Kitagawa, and it's just putting him off
yeah,
and messing up what he usually does, and he gets behind, and this man's just like, boom, his fucking sewing machine breaks down like out of nowhere.
yeah. Then again, it's like an antique, so this is like an old ass sewing machine. It's got the old ass foot pedal on it. So I mean,
Yeah,
that thing was bound to break down at some point.
it really, really was. Oh, but Grandpa, the mega
Mhm.
Chad that he is, said, "We'll get you a new one. Just, let's just get you a casual $4,000 sewing machine."
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, hey, if their shop makes a decent amount of money, I mean, it shouldn't be
It
too
makes me wonder how
too
much their
bad.
damn Hina dolls cost, dude.
Yeah,
uh,
they're probably a lot. That's just the heads look like they're almost like porcelain or something.
so, given that, you know
So
what?
it
I'm gonna
could
look that
be.
up right now. Let's see how much a
Either
casual
way,
Hina doll costs.
either way, the depending on the fabrics used for the dress itself would be add on to the cost itself.
Yeah, I mean, of
Um,
course, it's
but
I
yeah,
get that, but
yeah.
I'm talking about I'm just curious of what a casual Hina doll
How
costs.
much one would go for?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna look that up real quick.
already.
Let's see. Holy crud buckets!
How much
Holy
are they?
shit!
How much are they?
Holy crap, dude! So this one I'm looking at, a single Hina doll is $7,000, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Holy shit, man!
Mhm.
Oh my god!
That
The
that's
really
that's that's
crappy
that's a
ones
good
go
bit.
for about $300, but the professional ones,
Yeah,
man, they
official
go up for
ones.
like
Yeah.
6 to 7 grand. That's
Uh,
crazy,
that and the fact a lot of them are homemade and probably have family names associated with them
man. That's
probably adds to
insane.
the value.
But
Um,
the reason this first episode's taking us so long to get through is because we're just trying to go through all of
let's
the
just talk about the characters and stuff like that.
literally
Yeah.
almost half the cast is introduced in this first episode, which is really cool for me.
Yeah.
I really like characters that get introduced fast and end up mending together, and I like it a lot. So, um,
Yeah. So yeah, Gojo goes to school and he's like, "Oh, I'll use the school's sewing machines until then."
yeah. So it cuts to him being
And
in the sewing machine room, and he's just like he's super cool about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about anybody coming in here because
it's like, "This is
we
fucking
don't have any
awesome."
home ec classes or nothing like that." And he's just like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, I can get some work done." And lo and behold, the mighty woman returns.
Yeah,
She
she
comes
comes
in
back.
and she sees Gojo just sitting at the sewing machine and just gives him this really weird stare.
Yeah,
And then
she's looking at him, and then she gets an idea,
he's like, "Oh,
and then she
no
pers-
freaking way, dude! Not only do you make really cool Hina dolls, but you know how to sew."
yeah,
Oh.
and then and then that leads her to she starts to strip, and she's like, "Ah, just look away."
Like, we can't just
Yeah,
pass over that, Bopsto.
yeah,
You can't just do
yeah,
that.
no,
This girl
you
is
know how it
like, he's just
is.
like, "Hey, I sew. This is pretty
Yeah,
cool." And she's like, "Really?" And then all of a sudden, she just starts
she starts
undressing.
stripping, and then poor Gojo is about to have a fucking panic attack. Like,
This
he's
boy
about to
is
just
the
die. He's like, oh, shit! It's like the most popular one of the most popular girls in school. Literally stripping in front of me.
What is she doing? She's just she's not really undressing fully, is she? No, no, she's not undressing fully. She's just,
And then
why is her skirt on the
she's
floor?
undressing fully. Yeah,
And then he does this really
and
slow
then
turn into just at the bottom of her feet you see nothing but skin all the way up to her about her knees, and then it finally just
yeah,
shoots all the
yeah,
way
dude.
up, and it shows her in a makeshift dress that she made. And this is where we introduce her passion, which is cosplay. Which it's not
Cosplay.
really her
Mm-hmm.
passion as much as it is a new hobby for her.
Well, it's like it's something she's wanting to get into, um, and thankfully with Gojo, she's now found an outlet for getting that
So
for getting into
essentially,
cosplay.
the rest of the scene is her like showing off her really, really terrible sewing skills. And basically,
She's awful at she's awful at it. Gojo's roasting her for it too.
but yeah, he goes into full like, how dare you
He
even
is,
get your
yeah,
stitches inside out like this? You didn't even put any cross stitching on here. What did you do? How did you do
yeah,
this? This
yeah.
is terrible. I've never seen.
I'm surprised it even
I'm
stays
so
together.
sorry.
Yeah,
He goes from like super judgy to like super Chad like in 2 seconds. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
essentially he's just like she begs him to cosplay, um begs him to cosplay or help her cosplay by sewing her dresses.
Help her make a
And
cosplay.
in
Yeah.
the excitement of her getting the answer, my man got a bit of a sneak peek, if you know what I mean. Uh,
Yeah, man.
when
Hell yeah.
she was doing all that jumping for joy, he got a little sneak in the peek.
Yeah.
And but essentially, my
Poor Gojo
man.
has so many.
Go
That's
ahead.
where you go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, poorly. Sadly, our guy here throughout most of the series has multiple near-death experiences with the
And we're gonna get
amount
into a
of fucking
really, really big
embarrassment.
one in the next
It's about to
episode.
get fun. It's about to get fun here.
but
Yeah.
anyway,
But so anyway,
essentially in the
this
first
basically ends
episode,
with.
my man said yes to the dress, and
I
and
forgot about that one.
that moves us into the
Episode
outro.
2.
Oh,
Oh, dude, the outro is really fucking
dude,
good.
the
Oh
outro
shit,
is
we
insane.
didn't talk about the opening either.
Dude, it
Dude, the
showed
because
on
the
this
opening's
one.
in this episode. Yes, it did.
I guess I didn't put it in here, but
It's really, but it's really fucking good.
oh wait, I put it in the notes for the next one. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is insanely really good. It was so good that me and Bobsto watched almost every episode. We watched the intro. Uh,
yeah.
and we can't really talk about the intro until we start talking about the absolute insane detailing that comes with this anime.
Sadly, that won't be until the next episode. But yeah, no, this anime's got some
But you can
insanely
see it
detailed
in the
backgrounds.
intro. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
but we'll get more into the really cool details as we go through it.
Hmm.
But episode 2 starts with total confusion, and on top of that,
Uh,
each episode title, once y'all get into watching it, is just a bunch of innuendos. Like,
yeah, almost everyone past the first episode is innuendo.
so we get
Uh,
introduced to the person that she wants to cosplay, and
yeah,
hentai
Shizuka.
games are the plot element.
Yeah, yeah, dude, hentai games are a core plot element of My Dress Up Darling, and I'm here for it. It reminds me, it reminds me of a less depressing version of Welcome to the NHK, which is an older anime that me and Red will probably cover at some point.
But we start getting
But
into the
anyways,
really sceney,
but
like
she's in
obscene.
Mari's kind of a freak. Kitagawa's kind of a freak.
She kind of a total
I'm not
freak.
gonna
She ain't
lie.
just a freak.
She kind of a freak.
She
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 kind of
she
a
a
freak.
baddie though. She a baddie
Because
though.
this isn't just any like regular ass hentai game. This is like one with like fucking humiliation and like bondage and shit. This is some like kinky ass shit that
Yeah, but basically
she's
this chick
into.
is just fully going in full fucking detail
Uh
of
yeah,
a
she is.
hentai
And
game.
poor Gojo is having an absolute come apart as somebody who's not used to being around weird porn shit.
Yeah, and he's just like, what the fuck are we talking about? But let's just talk about that little side scene of an overview of somebody in the game, the ball gag chick.
Yeah. I mean the good old hentai image flash where it's just a
Dude,
crop. Well, it looks like it's a cropped hentai image.
it basically is a cropped
It
hentai
basically
image.
is.
It is,
I wonder
Bobso.
if there's I wonder if there's some parts of that image we're not seeing.
I don't even want to think about it, but
I wonder if some brave soul at that anime at Cloverworks decided, yeah, I'm gonna make this fully detailed, and only I will know about it.
so Bobsto, I actually got my first volume of this today for my dress up
Yeah,
darling,
you
and
told.
I was kind of
Yeah, dude,
looking,
you
I was
told
kind of
me.
just thumbing through it a while ago, and it's crazy
Yeah.
how on point they are with the manga. It's
Hmm.
I really like it. I think it's
That's good.
on point. I haven't read any of it, but I was just looking at some of the scenes.
You're flipping
Uh,
through.
I was just gonna check to see how actually in detail that it went. But it actually
Yeah.
does. It shows exactly what it shows in the anime. So
All right, cool.
I find that to be really cool that the anime just didn't give a fuck. Just kind of went
Yeah.
went with whatever. But
Yeah,
man,
dude. But Kitagawa is a little is very very much into it. Maybe even a little too much.
yeah, she gets crazy into it, and
Yeah, and
it just
she's just
explaining.
like she is like he's like oh no she's probably this is probably go just like oh man it's probably just a joke. She's probably about to say nah dude I pranked you, but no he's looking at her face. She's like dead set serious, and she's just talking about plot threads and scenes
Yeah.
from
So
this
essentially, the beginning of the
entire
episode is
game.
just her telling him about the game itself that she's wanting to cosplay from, and her character, which was
Yeah,
what was the character's name?
she Shizuka.
Shizuka. Okay, we didn't put that in the Discord
Yeah,
thing, did we? No.
we didn't.
We
If
probably
we're gonna be
should have,
technical.
but
There's the honorific of Tan at the end of it, so it'd be Shizuka Tan, but you just say Shizuka.
yeah. But
Um,
um, it cuts into him borrowing the hentai games from her,
well,
and this man's
that's a little that's a little later,
no, it's not.
but mhm. she no in this part in this scene she gives him a manual that shows you how to make cosplay,
Well, yeah, I guess I just didn't
and
put this
then
part in my notes,
he
but
yeah yeah, but no,
um
that happens a little later in the episode. But she does
um
give him research material. Uh, but um, but poor Kitagawa had a manual that tells you everything you need to know about
everything.
making cosplay, and she
And
still couldn't do
her
it.
dress still sucked
That's
dick. It was pretty bad.
that's some Euro level stuff right there.
um he now has a but we get introduced now, and now we go from lonely Gojo to now Gojo has a
To
very interesting hobby and a very
he,
intriguing
he's
friend.
he's getting and then the horny just will not stop. He is
Yes,
constantly
he's in it to
thrust into
win it.
situations where he's in it. He's
he's
in the bone zone.
he's in the bone
He is.
zone.
But Gojo is just chilling at his place. Granddad's gone out for the day, and
So he
so
decides to do some
Kitagawa shows
research.
up because she was basically able to Google Hina doll and Gojo and found the exact place.
No, dude, the
Yeah.
scene of him doing the research was before this.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is because he
Mm,
did the sketch
it's
before she
not.
got there.
Mm-mm.
Because he
That's
showed
not
her
what I.
the full
That
sketch
the
of the character that he
that's
researched before
mm-mm.
she got there,
The
before they started
research
doing the measurements.
he did Google. I think he Googled it, but the actual him doing the actual research is towards the end of the episode.
I'm gonna pull this up.
My notes are in chronological order, dude.
So are mine. I don't know, man. I think we're in two different spectrums right now, um, but we'll go
Hmm.
with yours.
I think we are. Um, but anyways, Maureen's found her way to Gojo's place,
Yeah,
and she's like, "Oh,
she
she she
kind
he used a good old Google Stalker method."
of
Um,
she used the Google to figure out, oh, Gojo's dolls. That's Gojo. Let's go check out this shop. Maybe he's here.
yeah,
um,
and she opens she knocks on the door, And he's like, "Oh man, yeah, no." She's like, "Can I come in?" I thought we would go ahead and get the measurements and stuff taken care of today. And he's just like, "Oh no, no, I can't. This, I can't." And she's like, "Oh, but I brought I brought you some cheesecake, dude."
And he
As
gets
soon as he takes the
distracted.
cheesecake, she walks in.
She just gets snaked in. She's just like, "Hey, what's going
She
on over
takes
here?"
advantage. Yeah, man. Listen, if you're
um,
gonna try to barge your way in, you might as well provide dessert.
but
Um,
let's just talk about my man's fucking resolve of a fucking monk. It's
dude,
when
he's
she
he
was bent
is
over inside of his room looking at the Hina
yeah,
dolls on
dude.
his desk.
Yeah,
Uh, he,
he needs a good bonking probably. He needs to
man.
get bonked.
But
Um,
anyway, he got to
but
thinking about the measurements and all about what he was gonna have to do for her measurements, and he was so
uh
nervous about touching her tits.
uh
But then
it's just like
again,
everything's like fine. Then it comes to oh shit,
I gotta
bust point, chest,
and
and inseams.
let's just talk about how thoughtful she was for wearing
Yeah,
her bathing suit.
she wore a very revealing bathing suit. It's
Oh,
great.
and
But she is and the thing I like is like Gojo is like a fucking mess at this point, and Kitagawa is like so dead set on her getting her cosplay and measurement on getting her cosplay done. She's like, I don't care what you need to do to take my measurements. I just need you to take my measurements.
dude,
Like
one of my
she's extremely chill about just being like half naked in the same room as like a
yeah.
dude.
She's just like, she's like, let's do this, let's get it over with. And man, my man over here is starting to have a mental fucking breakdown. He's just like, I don't know what to
Yeah,
do.
dude. Yeah,
I don't
he
know what to
is.
do. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
no.
But Bopsto,
Hmm.
in my notes, I put jizz. In my notes, it was supposed to be jizzed in his pants. But I guess my
Yeah.
autocorrect kicked in and it said jazzed in his pants.
Dude, he was probably having a jazz session himself,
he
if you
was
know what I mean.
he
But
was playing the flute a little bit.
but poor Gojo barely survives measuring her feet.
Oh my gosh, man.
There's this whole, she's on top of his like little bed,
He
almost
gets
like a cat.
my man just hit puberty at this very moment in time, but
Yeah,
he acts like a
yeah,
mega
dude.
chad. He gets very professional. My man brought out the Karate Kid headband. He's like, nothing else is gonna stop me from doing what I need to do.
Yeah, it's just getting serious.
And then my man gets blue balled, biggest blue ball of the
Yeah,
year with the feet scene.
yeah, man, dude. Like I said, I like when she's like laying on his bed. He's like freaking out. It's like, no,
Oh
no,
my
don't get on my
gosh.
bed. And she's just like teasing the ever living shit out of him over it to
She's
the point
like
where
she
she's
knows.
like on it. She's on it like a cat almost with the
Dude.
way she's just kind of sprawled herself across it.
Yeah, she really is. And then
Yeah,
so
and
essentially
he
she's
is.
just like, just measure me already. And essentially she's just
Mhm.
like, shut up and measure my tits. Like she-
Yeah, it's got to get that bust point, which
oh
goes from
man.
nipple to nipple. He, sadly, and as soon as he hears the measurement, someone just took a fucking gun to his head and just blew it the fuck off because
20 is this man's
um
lucky
tw-
number.
yeah, 20 is his lucky number.
Which was the amount of millimeters.
The centimeters, no
Centimeters? It
centimeters.
was centimeters.
Yeah, they
20,
use centimeters. Yeah,
20 centimeters was the bust point
uh,
from nipple to nipple.
and she just throughout this entire time she is still just fucking with him.
She literally
This
asked
is
the
where
man to measure her nipples, and then she's just like,
edited.
she was totally joking,
Yeah,
but this man
yeah, I could
bricked
take this
up like a
off if you need me
stone.
to.
This man bricked
Yeah.
up. I mean, stoned up.
Yeah, dude.
uh,
But here's where and so they finally Gojo survives the
and
measurements.
he just gets
He barely,
really, he
he
barely
barely, he's
survives.
holding on by a thread at this point.
And he doesn't even think about it at this point, but he starts measuring
Yeah,
her inside of her leg, and he
yeah,
ends
she's
up
got to get the
touching
inseam.
this man.
He actually, grazes her a little bit in a very,
Look,
well, yeah.
my notes. It says he touched her hoo ha, and now she's the simp.
I'd like to thank my one of my best friends from high school who recommended the series to me originally,
Oh,
where
dude.
he and his Pentecostal wife watched this series together, and even him and his wife were like, "Yo, dude, you guys need to watch this series."
Oh my
I
gosh.
love it so much. I'm not gonna throw any shade because I love the series to death,
Oh
but it's just
shit.
the content. Sir, what?
I have to admit that I was wrong, Bopsto.
Okay. But that's all good. But
Uh,
I love the series to death, but I just find it really funny that the two most unlikely types of people would recommend this series to
yeah,
me.
it was absolutely
It's really
crazy.
funny.
Oh, two of the people that should
Um,
never ever
yeah.
watch
Well,
it.
they're super into anime and Japanese culture. So I mean, it is what it is. But I was
But
not expecting them to enjoy the series as much as they did.
at this point, they
But
get through all of the measurements, and she gives him the games to give him the
uh,
correct
so
idea.
I wanna say something about this game. So these are hentai games, and more than likely they are visual novels.
Yeah,
Have you
so
played a visual novel, Brent? Have you
yes, I
played a
played
visual
a
novel, Red?
obviously, I was a teenager once I
Okay,
played a visual
so
novel.
so
It's called a rogue.
well, I mean, visual novels. I mean, visual novels can be any sorts of thing. Like there are non-erotic visual novels, but most eroge are visual novels.
Yeah.
Um, and usually these games are super long with multiple paths. Each girl is its own path.
Yeah, it is
And Gojo played through not one of these like long ass like probably 40-hour experiences. He played two
in one
to get
night.
caught up in like one night.
Man, and
Unless
basically he
unless these
played the game to get the general idea on the dresses that he needed to make
and the character.
for the character that they were wanting to
Hmm.
cosplay.
Yeah.
But
And
basically, get out of my room,
dude,
Grandpa. I'm playing a rogue.
dude, I'm playing get the fuck out of here. I'm playing
I'm
Minecraft.
playing a
What,
rogue.
what I, what I love is he's sitting on the floor of his room with his computer. He's casually stone faced, not even flinching at like, and he's like in the middle of one of the sex scenes in it,
Yeah, like just
and
fully.
he is
Eh.
just yeah, there's some fucking going on,
It's a
and
fucked
he's
up
just sitting
shit, dude.
there with the most like serious look on his face he could muster. And poor granddad is like, well, what? I wouldn't expect him to be into this kind of stuff, but I mean,
He is
he,
at that
he's
age.
young.
But you know what?
He's young.
Props to the Mega Chad grandpa for
Yeah,
respecting those boundaries. He
yeah,
just
dude.
closes the
You could just
door.
walk in, but he just closes the door. And I like
But
how Gojo's like, yo,
yo,
what's up? Hey,
what up,
grandpa.
what up, grandpa? I'm playing a rogue.
he just goes, he just goes back to playing the game.
Dude, it's so funny. And grandpa's just like he's taking notes. Like,
Yeah,
what is happening right now?
that's how you know how strong their relationship is. It's like literally you could walk into his grandson watching porn, and it just
But
be a casual conversation.
but we get introduced into episode 3 with Gojo simping in his
Oh,
dreams.
oh, poor Gojo's having one hell of a wet dream where he's like, oh man, if he completes this cosplay, she might take it too far and get too into character. And he wakes up with that wood. He's got that wood.
And then it does this really hilarious scene where his main dog gets betrayed by the human doll.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude. The doll is just staring at him and he's apologizing.
And he's
It's
apologizing
it's
to this fucking doll, dude.
yeah,
But
dude.
my boy is
Um,
way too wholesome. He's too wholesome.
Yeah. Although when he returns to school, he's kind of unsure how to deal with himself and how he's going to face Kitagawa after the whole measuring fiasco. And that's when Kitagawa just immediately shows up. He's like, "Yo, here's my homies."
Dude, she changed his entire world by talking to him. Now my boy got a harem.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, she's like, "Yo, here's me, my friend Noah. She's got suckers, and this other girl. I don't even know if she has a name in this series.
she
She's
doesn't.
just
The only one that
another
was
one of her
introduced
girls.
was the
Is
sucker girl,
Noah? Yeah, it's the sucker
which
girl.
you'll
Yeah.
see her like three
Um,
times in the entire thing.
she's just like
Um,
there at the moment in the series. She's just modern. That she's just Kitagawa's friend, and that's it.
but let's just go
Um,
over the fact that Kitagawa ain't no fake bitch. She ain't no fake bitch.
oh yeah, no, oh no, she ain't.
No,
And as soon as he
she's.
walks off, they're like, oh man, he's kind of weird. He kind of like ran away from
Hey,
us.
before we get into that though,
Yeah.
let's talk about that really fucking awesome skeleton animation that they did. Um,
Dude, there is a cool skeleton animation,
oh, dude, it was
and
whenever
it's so
Kitagawa
good.
comes in and says, "This is Gojo," and his elbow touches her boobie, and he goes fucking
And it's
ape
just
shit.
X-ray shot.
It was an
Yeah,
X-ray shot of both of them. It was
yeah,
really cool though.
it's
Man,
good. I
um,
liked it.
but as soon as he runs away, he starts hearing all this shit about the Becky's already starting to train him down. Uh,
Yeah, man.
but
And it's
Kitagawa
very
is just go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're going into the epic Gojo avoiding Kitagawa montage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is kind of crazy how good she is at detective work. Um,
yeah, dude. She is the key to when it comes to foot tracking down a high school loner who's trying to get to help you make a dress. She's on the case.
let's just say Michael Jackson would be proud.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
She's
Um,
the real smooth criminal.
I'd like to say so now that we get into this point, I can say now, dude, the backgrounds, the fucking
Oh,
backgrounds,
dude, these
because
backgrounds are phenomenal.
there's that shot of her in the gym. And
Yes.
I think we were debating multiple times on whether or not this was either a picture of a gym that was shaded to look like a anime, to like look like it's like drawn or made using CG, or if it's just straight up just a hyper detailed like drawing and or CG image of a gym.
Yeah, it's actually really phenomenal. Like it looks
It's
really good.
insane.
But
It's I just um
but we'll get more into more of the detail stuff cuz we're going
because
to
there's
be
some more to come.
yeah, especially here in just a minute. So let's just talk about my man's got the skills that beat them bills. He goes to these shops with her and
Yeah.
essentially just gives her the breakdown of the character and like just shuts her down like completely. He's just like this would go
Yeah.
better with this, and he's like you wouldn't really want to go with that color because this color brings out her eyes better. It just shoots
Yeah,
her.
this color.
He's just all over it,
Yeah,
man. But
it's like, yo, you should get this. We should get this fabric because it'll it'd be more like in tune with the character and whatnot,
but
and it
as
look fancier
but as we're
and
at
higher
the
status.
yeah, but as we're at the fabric shop, we get another introduction of some of these really cool background shots. These
Dude, the
shelves look
rolls,
like somebody just took an actual picture of a fabric
the
shelf and just photo
the
edited it.
rolls of fucking fabric
Gosh, it looked
are so insanely
detailed.
detailed.
It's so good.
I
Like
just I don't like I said whoever did the background art, whoever the background artists were for this anime did really well.
they need a raise,
Extremely
like
so.
one
Somebody
hundred
needs a
percent.
raise. Somebody needs a promotion.
Yes, somebody needs it.
Um,
But at this
uh,
point, Gojo starts freaking out, like, "Oh, this stuff's really expensive. I'll help you pay for it." But nah, Kitagawa,
Nah, nah,
the
nah.
goddess
She,
queen. Mama done went to bank. She
she got that money. She got that cheese.
money,
Yo, man,
money.
I do a little side gigs. I got some side hustles. I
Yeah.
got you.
But then she starts talking about all this crazy shit that, that Gojo doesn't know about. My man's oblivious to the wonders of dress up, aka
Yeah,
Swallowtail. The Swallowtail
yeah, hell
shop.
yeah. The wig shopping, dude. This is a cool ass
I
wig shop. It's
really
got
love this shop. It's really cool looking.
yeah,
Just the whole shop is about wigs.
yeah.
It's really cool. And I know what everybody's thinking. What are two dudes talking about some dress up bullshit? But it's actually
Nah,
really,
nah,
really
dude.
good anime.
It's
For the
it's really good.
ones,
Like I said, it's just it's a slight it's about it's a slight it's a slice of life anime about a topic that doesn't have many anime about it, and that's cosplay.
yeah,
And it goes in detail about the process of making like how what would go into making your own cosplay.
yeah, because it's really good. I mean, I love the character
Hmm.
development. I love the idea of it. I
Yeah,
love Gojo's fucking skills. Man,
it,
this man's got
yeah,
skills.
dude.
But basically, Gojo's in like total shock and awe about all of the styles and all of the good, framework of the wigs and
Hmm.
everything. But and essentially, she's the yin to his yang. What Gojo don't know about,
Yeah,
Kitagawa knows about. Just
she knows, and what she doesn't know about, he knows about.
um,
Um,
but my man
but
finally
go
joined in
so
on
one thing,
society.
our guy here paid very close attention to his research as well.
Yeah, his
He
notes
he
are
took all that in.
insane.
His notes. He's always like he's super good at making dresses, but also he's like really good at drawing. He's quite the artist.
Yeah, he is just so detailed about everything. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Then again, with you running a shop like that and like design, even though it's like miniature sized like dresses, it's still you still go through the same process of like making out like sketches of what you want the dress to look like.
Yeah, it's really
So
good just in general the stuff that he can do, but
mhm.
it cuts from them getting the wig, they've gotten the fabric. Now it's time to get
Then
the
I just
it's garters and
get the
stockings time,
lingerie.
baby.
You gotta get that lingerie, boy. Let's go over to Victoria's Secret real quick. Get some
And then she
get
tries to give Gojo
some.
another stroke. She's always trying to brick
Um,
this dude up, I swear.
she
She
is
shows off her
teasing the ever living
goods.
shit out of him again.
She sticks her
And she's like, "Yo,
leg.
man, you want to come?"
Go ahead.
And she's like, "Yo, man, with you helping with all this, I could repay you. You can like come get in this dressing room with me if you want."
She just for like fully teases the shit out of him. Not being
Yeah.
serious, but uh but
No, no, I think it's like one of those things where it's like a mixture of both. Where he's like slightly joking, but it's like, but also she's like, aha, that's kind of funny, but
unless
unless you would like to.
um
um,
but no,
and then
let's get into one of my favorite scenes in this episode, and that's the adults freaking out about the convo they're having with about the
uh,
game.
dude, one thing I'd like to mention before that is there's this nice scene where Kitagawa is talking about she's explaining to Gojo about the cosplay scene and how things are with cosplayers and whatnot, and it gets us into another little Gojo flashback of I think it's like of him and his granddad. I want to say I'm trying to
Hmm.
remember what the flashback was about. I think it's like just like I think it's him like when he was like seeing like a Hina doll for the first time, if I remember correctly.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it that one, or is it the one
Yeah,
where he's talking about how long it took him to perfect it, or
I think it's one of those. But either way, whatever Kitagawa was said about like with her talking with him about the cosplay scene, like struck a chord with him and he made him think about something in his past.
oh, you're talking about the scene where where he starts describing his own definition of beauty and all that.
Yeah, I think so.
But that
I
I was
I think
that was
I'm
on
not so
their way
sure.
to that was on their way to the train station.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was trying to remember. Okay, I don't know
Yeah,
because some of
so
these notes like they're slightly detailed, but at the same time, like there's
I
a
get it.
couple
Yeah. I
gaps
mean,
between them. Yeah.
that's just part of
Um.
just talking about stuff, but
Yeah.
anyway, Gojo and Kitagawa are walking past this group of people. They went to eat somewhere or something, and they're just this one woman's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I remember when I was that young, out and having fun." And then this Gojo starts talking about like, "Yeah, I really like the scene where he just can't stop
Uh,
masturbating."
it's just, he can't stop coming. Like it's like having like it's like a dude like a scene where like a guy's like having giving like a speech or something, and he just can't stop coming.
This is them
Can't
describing the
he
game
can't
to each
stop.
other, but
Yeah.
essentially after this,
and
what Bopsto
and
was
the
getting into,
poor lady.
yeah, this
Yeah.
this poor lady, she's just like, what are these people talking
She's like, yeah,
about?
this is our future generations. I'm scared for what lies ahead. Of these are the people that are going to
Leaving,
be in
like we're
charge
leaving,
later
yeah, that we're
on.
leaving the Earth too.
Leading, yeah,
But
uh, but yeah,
that gets us into the moment where what Bobsto was describing, where they were walking down. She's looking through cosplay pictures and whatnot, and we get this really cool, heart pulling
yeah,
scene about his definition of what beauty is. Basically, this man
yeah.
doesn't use the word lightly. If he calls something beautiful, he
I know
really, really means
definitely
it. And
it that should come from the heart.
yeah, and you know that's one of the Gojo's character traits that I really like. He's very uh wholesome, very understanding of other people's
Yeah,
needs, and just it gets this really cool, very warm scene about when he first saw his grandpa's Hina dolls and how he
yeah,
thought they were just so incredibly beautiful. And
the beautiful. Yeah.
but also in this scene, let's really talk about the lighting effects on people's faces when they're
Dude,
walking
the
through the
lighting, the
dude.
scene when they're on this bridge, as like the traffic's passing underneath them
It's
and
so
everything about it,
nice,
it just looks so good.
man.
Um,
Uh,
and it's just a nice scene, like a nice backdrop for this really wholesome scene.
yeah, it's really really
Uh,
good. It fits. That is something that this anime does insanely well, and that is
yeah,
really like explain or not explained, but really expose the scene itself to every
yeah,
dramatic effect that they're feeling at that very moment in time. They really know
uh,
how to match it, and it's really good. I really love what they
hmm
do with everything in this. But
yeah,
we start getting an introduction to one of another character that gets introduced in later. That it was one of her favorite
yeah.
cosplayers, and that
Yeah,
is
she was showing him like different like cosplay pictures and like people who have like social media accounts and whatnot.
but that ends the episode
And
with them, and she talks about a event that's going on in 2 weeks,
yeah,
and my boy
oh
Gojo
man,
starts freaking out.
is
uh,
oh shit,
I
2 weeks.
gotta
They
make
got
this
two
suit in
weeks,
2 weeks.
and the shit throughout this episode, shit keeps getting piled on to the extra stress for this deadline. Poor Gojo's having this he's feeling that deadline stress. He's like, oh man, shit. It's like when you got that paper that's due and you finish it right at 11:58.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
insane.
man.
But that gets us into episode 4 where Grandpa takes a spill.
Dude,
Grandpa being
he
kind
about
of
dies.
sus.
He about to go to an early grave, man,
But
because
anyway,
he sees one of the stockings
oh my
that
goodness,
Gojo
dude.
bought for the cosplay.
And at this point,
And
Grandpa
as
doesn't
soon
have a clue about Gojo's entrapment.
intentions. Yeah.
Um, but at this point, this man's got 2 weeks to finish his dress. His grandpa has to go to the hospital. He's burning the candle at both ends, and then on top of that, he finds out that his um, finals are in the same week. So it's like
Yeah.
this man is burning the candle at both ends. He's
Yeah, dude.
But I want to go over that really awesome collage of Gojo covering all of the tasks together. That was
Yeah,
really
dude.
good. It was just like a really
It's
cool
it.
like timestamp that I just really enjoy.
Mhm.
Um, but basically, all this episode is just him stressing to the max, not sleeping.
Mhm.
He's letting himself down.
Yeah,
Um,
things are getting worse as it goes
and then
on.
he finally just
Um,
has a breakdown.
yeah,
Um,
and then this is one thing I like. This episode really shows like Gojo's resolve. I think
yeah, it really
because
shows more of his character that I just really love.
mhm.
Um,
Because he's having a full on fucking panic attack, and then he finally he psychs himself up. He puts himself back together,
yeah,
and that's where we get this really awesome fucking montage of him making the dress.
yeah, but basically he just forces his way through completing all the tasks.
Yeah, dude.
But I don't know if you caught it, Bopsto, but essentially the only reason that he started completing the task is because of Kitagawa's smile, which I found
Yeah.
very, very
Hmm.
wholesome, very cool.
He very much entered do it for her mode.
But basically, what brings him back to the light is just more wisdom words from Grandpa, talking about just
Yeah.
getting the reaction from people is worth more than words
Hmm.
itself. And if
Yeah.
you can get that out of
Um,
somebody, that is just what makes the work worth it,
that,
essentially.
that's what makes the work that's what turns it from just work into your passion is being
Right.
able to share it and make other people happy with it. But so there's one other thing in this episode that also has a good bit of characterization for Kitagawa because there's a scene where she's coming in to see if Gojo's home while he's like in like dressmaking mode and he's not answering. And instead of thinking, he's probably working the dress or anything like that, he's probably working on the dress or something like that. Her first thought is, oh, he's probably taking a break from after midterms are over, or he's visiting his granddad.
Yeah. She doesn't
She's not even thinking about the cosplay at this point.
yeah, because she thinks that this got put on the back burner, which
Yeah.
which is really cool of Kitagawa. But that
Hmm.
gets us into the part where he finally finishes the dress and texts her, and she comes over,
Yes.
takes a look at it, and she has a moment of realization of oh shit, like this man has been doing
Uh,
everything on top of making this dress, and I haven't even thought about it.
yeah. Yeah, no, she was like straight up like I was like cool with waiting. Like it didn't have to be at this
Well,
like it didn't have to be made
she
for
wasn't expecting
this
him to
event.
be done with the dress by this event anyway, from the very
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
But he didn't
yeah.
read it
No,
right.
mhm.
um,
um, but but that led to where there's a very wholesome. We get a nice wholesome scene where Kitagawa is very much like touched emotionally by Gojo just fucking entering like fucking overtime. He hit that fucking Nanami overtime,
yeah, he really, really did.
and she was very much appreciative for it.
But essentially, all at the end of it, she really becomes his human doll, and she really digs his style.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. Um. Oh, just one thing. He says one thing I also like about Kitagawa, she's so dedicated to her cosplay and shit that she just straight up
shaves
shaves
off
her
her
eyebrows.
eyebrows. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have that written down
Um.
too. Um,
Yeah, dude.
she's like, I believe in
There's
you
also
so
really nice
much.
eye detailing as well in
I,
in these scenes as well. Like there's like a really nice glisten
if
effect.
there is anything in an anime I love more, it is eye
Yep.
art.
Is I art.
One of my favorite animes, like graphically, is got to be Kakaguri, and it's because of all
Yeah.
the amazing starburst iframe shots that they do. It is so nice, and this anime
Yeah.
does really good with it too, with making eyes pop, and really giving it the
Mhm.
anime style to it. Which I really like the fine line that
Yeah.
they draw between this being real life and this being an anime, while inside of an
Mhm.
anime. I find all that to be really intriguing as well.
Yeah.
But
So, before we go into episode 5, there's one thing I've noticed. Almost all of these episodes lead directly into one another.
yeah, they flow
Like
into
they
each other
flow into
very
each
very
other
well. It's like one episode starts immediately after the ending of the
of
previous
the last
episode.
episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it just flows in so perfectly, which is something that can be appreciated. But
Mhm.
by the end of episode 4, she fully becomes Shizukatan. And did I say that right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Boom, baby!
Oh yeah. Hey, you're getting
Red.
better.
Score one for red.
Yeah.
But
Uh but yeah, and episode 5 opens with her, really enjoying the cosplay. Like
yeah.
she's like, "Yo, this shit's really." She is ecstatic for this cosplay,
But not as
and it's
ecstatic as she
just,
is for her boob bags.
yeah, dude, this fucking good dude. Gotta get your tit sack,
It's like
the tit sack.
no, but she's just really, really excited. So excited, in fact, it's time for a photo shoot. Um,
Yeah, and dude, Gojo takes his photo taking very seriously.
one of my notes is dang, she's not being the ice queen she knew she could be. uh, which
Hell
basically
yeah,
means that she's trying to play the part in the photos, but she can't stop smiling because
yeah,
she's too excited.
yeah,
Uh,
mm,
and essentially the character that is she's a Catan. Damn it,
yeah,
immediately fucked it up. But and she was trying to play that part in the photos, but she couldn't because she was
yeah.
so
Well, like first she started was like first she's just like smiling how she would usually do, and Gojo's like, "Well, you see, in these photos, you're really like just doing how you would usually do it, but you should do it more so how your character would." And then she starts doing more shots that are more in character, and that's when the photos start to really like these are like, even though it's like an anime, so like it still had the photos still has like the same style as like everything else. These are some nice ass photos.
yeah. It's really really
Um,
good photos. Considering it's an anime, obviously we'd got to get out of that mind frame. The photos that
yeah,
Gojo takes off of a cell
I
phone,
know.
they look really really
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
But get out of the mind frame of it being an
Oh
anime
no, no, I
and
know
blah blah
that,
blah.
but
No, I'm not
what
talking to
I'm saying
you.
is
I'm not
like,
talking to you. I'm talking to the
yeah,
audience. Talking to
yeah,
the audience. With just that's I'm just trying to explain that the photo shoot went very very well.
yeah. To say it went well is an understatement.
Yeah, but
Um,
Gojo nailed the dress, and now it's time to go to this event.
yeah, they decided, since it's happening and the cosplay's ready, we might as well just go.
And my boy Gojo still ain't had no
And
sleep.
she is, and Martin and Kitagawa is just fucking geeking out
Oh my gosh,
in
she
her
just goes
fucking
full
element.
geek
She
mode.
is in heaven, and that's one thing I like about the scene is like Gojo is sort of, he's like seeing the cosplay scene for like himself. They're you're seeing all different types of people going at the cosplay. Some are very professional, some are very amateur, but they're all there just because they really enjoy cosplaying these characters.
Yeah, and he's finally understanding what it
Um,
means to
what a
Kitagawa,
yeah,
that what these cosplays are.
hmm
Um, but after all this geeking out and her going back and forth, she finally gets somebody come up to her and ask her for a photo.
to ask for a picture.
And well, after
Uh,
this one
and this is actually
photo,
a really nice scene.
it really is. It's a wholesome scene of Kitagawa just kind of.
Yeah,
giving this man, just the time of day,
yeah.
she's not all icy cold about it. She just walks up. She's like, "Yeah, get a picture.
Hmm.
Come get a picture with
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Let's do a
dude, get a
selfie."
picture, and
Um,
then she even asks him if he would like to get a selfie, and this poor guy, he's super nervous, but she's like, yeah, no, I'll take a selfie with you,
yeah, it's super cool.
and
But then after
it's
all
very
that,
very
as
wholesome.
soon as that happens, here comes a line of simps looking for free beat meat material.
Yeah, man. They're like, yo, dude, your cosplay's like fire. Let's take some pictures. And so
But
she's going through taking pictures with a whole bunch of different people,
yeah,
and it's very very nice, and
but as the pictures are being
Gojo starts feeling
taken,
slightly melancholy.
go ahead.
Yeah, Gojo's feeling a little melancholic over this because he feels like that this event will be like the last time that he and Kitagawa will interact with each other
Yeah,
because at this point he just thinks, oh, I'll do a cosplay for her and that'll be it.
yeah, which
And
is
not at all what Kitagawa had in
yeah,
mind,
not
but
not at all,
we'll
dude.
get into that. So photo shoot's getting going well. So Kitagawa comes back up to him, and there's some problems. One, it's in the middle of a Japanese summer, which is extremely hot. Um, and so the heavy materials they're using is basically her fucking costume to refer to. Shit's hot.
Oh yeah, she's basically
Um,
just dying. She's having
uh,
about to have a heat
and then
stroke. Um,
yeah,
but
and also she decided to stuff her bra for
yeah,
added bust, and
and
it's
Gojo
basically about to cause her costume to almost pull a Janet Jackson.
Gojo is going nuts that she put more fabric in this dress when she really shouldn't
Yeah,
have. He's just like, it wasn't made for that.
yeah.
It
He's
was
like,
made
well,
for your
no shit, it's
exact
about to explode.
dimensions.
Yeah, it's like no shit, it's about to explode.
But
Um, but yeah, we get epic as they're in a cool place to get epic boob sweat.
yeah, the
That
boob
shit's
sweat and booby physics.
that shit's that shit's like piling up. It's like a fucking swimming pool, a swimming pool of boob sweat.
uh
We got some ice packed sexual tension.
uh-huh. And then after this, my
Uh,
boy my boy be ripping those clothes off like a Chad.
yeah, man.
But
Yeah, dude. It's
then you get
all
into this
great.
really
Um,
sus dialogue with him wiping off the back sweat.
yeah, hell yeah, man. But we get another wholesome thing is that after she's cooled down, they're ready to try to leave. Kitagawa decides to go and try to finish the photo shoot with the lady that she was taking pictures with before
Yeah, Shizuka went
she had to
back.
go. Yeah,
She
yeah,
went back for this
that's actually
fan
just really.
service.
Hmm. And this dude, and so the second thing sort of happens here, where while they're about to take the picture, Kitagawa gets straight up fucking gets Marilyn Monroe. We're
she's so she's so fucking ditzy about it. She doesn't
Yeah, she
realize.
doesn't care. Her mind is on something else
I can't
entirely,
remember
and
what it
everyone's like, "Yo,
was.
what?"
Yeah, like you just
Yeah,
like showed your shit to us and you just didn't care.
yeah,
But basically the end of the episode goes with Gojo had a ton of fun at the event. Um, she's not she's Kitagawa really brings out Gojo out of his shell a little bit, and
hmm,
man, and this is where you get a really awesome shot of Kitagawa getting all embarrassed and
yeah,
very what would you call it?
hmm,
Very
flustered.
flustered. That's the word I'm looking for, because my boy's sitting here falling asleep and thinking out loud, and calls her beautiful,
Yeah,
and
and this causes her to go, "What the fuck?
she has a
What
flashback.
now?"
She has a flashback from a previous scene of him describing that he only uses that word when it really means beautiful. And man, it just hit her like
Mhm.
a brick, dude.
It's like,
But
what? Excuse me? Say psych, please. Say psych.
and he's just asleep. He's just out of it.
Yeah, dude. Listen, dude. I don't know if you've ever been to a convention. That shit's exhausting.
Oh yeah, it is. I've been to
Con-
Comic Con twice,
con-
and I cosplayed one year.
Conventions,
So
especially big ones, are pretty damn exhausting. Especially if you're actually doing cosplay.
yeah, because it can get hot, dude.
Yeah.
But
Um.
anyway, it goes
So
into
episode 6,
it
where
brings us
she is
back.
still
Yeah,
she's still freaking out. The tables have turned at this point. At this point, Kitagawa is getting just about as flustered as Gojo has before.
yeah. So you finally get some more
Mhm.
scenes of Kitagawa being uh nervous and
Yeah.
shit, which is out of character for her mostly.
Hmm.
But she this is where she starts falling for Gojo. She
Yeah.
she's overwhelmed while they're going over this whole basically this whole episode is them just kind of hanging out. She's not the whole episode, but the beginning of the episode is them hanging out. They're washing the wig. She's just getting
Yeah.
overwhelmed with some of the things that he's doing. Some really cool shots of Gojo, like her Google eyeing him, just stuff like that.
Mm.
But but she gets all
Everything's going
confused.
well. But she's getting those hormones in.
Oh
They're,
yeah,
they're rushing, and then in comes Grandpa. Poor
Grandpa comes
Grandpa can't
back.
catch a break, dude. He's like, "Yo, I'm back from the hospital. What the shit? You got a girl here?"
Grandpa comes back with another heart attack, and
He's like, "Oh
Gojo
shit,
just
my grandson's become a Chad."
and Gojo's just like, we didn't do anything inappropriate.
And
Gojo is the
like how
pinnacle of a
even
gentleman.
Kitagawa's like think at some point thinks to herself, "Is it would there be anything wrong if we
No,
did do anything inappropriate?"
this was later when she
That's
started headed home,
that was
but
later, but still, yeah.
um
But and that's where he explains to his finally he tells his granddad what he's been doing, and he shows him the dress. He's like, "Oh, it's looking pretty good." And he goes just like, "I don't know, it's not that good." He's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And they start getting closer, and they both just enter dress critique mode.
oh yeah, and this is where the scene where
Where,
she's just like, "There's no way I like him. Do I like him, or do I like him? Or is there's no way?
yeah,
There's no way I can fall for a guy like this. There's no way I can fall for a guy like this. He's so cute. Oh my god." Just
yeah.
general girl. Sorry, I don't know. I
She,
binge there.
I think it was just yeah. Well, she's
But
going through the thing a lot of people tend to go through, and they're starting to get those kinds of
yeah,
feelings.
like my boy here, like my boy here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm. Yeah, dude, I like how much of an absolute unit him and his granddad are when
yeah,
it comes
dude,
to it. I like watching them talk about the
they're
dress.
just like a total unit, though. I
Yeah.
love the relationship that they have with each other.
Hmm.
Because they're just so close to each other, which is really cool. But
Hmm.
Grandpa offers dinner for Gojo's new girl, Goyle,
Goyle.
and where we get some
Um,
more lore from Kitagawa that her
yeah.
parents aren't around, just like Gojo's parents aren't around.
Yeah.
Um, so
She got a dead mom and her dad works.
yeah, her dad works all the time, but Gojo's parents are just dead.
Dead. They're straight up dead. Yeah, he's been
Unfortunately.
staying with his granddad this
Which
entire time.
I learned something new in this, and I'm gonna share it with the rest of you, and I don't care if you like it or not.
Yes.
NATO is a fermented soybean.
Not to.
Well, fuck you, natto.
It's not to. But yeah, so we get to the scene where they're talking about, oh, don't you know how to cook? She's like, yeah, I get my stuff from the convenience store. She shows a picture of it's natto fried rice with chicken and like fried chicken.
Which is a
So
very
let
extremely
me just
weird food palette. Like,
so let me tell you about how weird the textures are at this red. Just so you know. Natto is super like sticky, like it sticks together. It's like congealed together soybeans.
Ew.
So mix that with fried rice and like gas station chicken.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. Because that's what
Which,
she's basically getting, like she's getting like basically what would be called like pocket chicken from like the seven nearby 7-Eleven or something in Japan, and like
ugh,
her area. And
yeah.
then the natto and the fried rice is probably also from that same convenience store as well.
But Grandpa
So
gets in.
it's like convenience store grade food with like the worst combination of foods together. So it's just it's bad.
But this is where Grandpa gets into grandparent mode. Like, you need to eat. Like,
Yeah, you need to eat well. She's like, oh no, I eat good well enough. Look at my figure, I'm good.
but let's just talk about Gojo for another second. So this man, I swear,
Yeah,
he can make Hina dolls. He can sew
yeah.
dresses. This man's a
Hmm.
killer with the ladies. This, and then on
Yep.
top of it all, on top of everything we just learned about, this man can cook.
Yeah,
Talk
dude, he
about a.
cooks. He cooks really well.
I've said it once. I will say it again. Mega Chad. Mega Chad.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's quite the mega Chad.
but after all this little side scene, Gojo uh walks Kitagawa home from his house
And
or to the
she is
gas or to the
getting
train station.
she's getting bludgeoned by that fucking love bat. She is getting hit just constantly. Ah, shit. I
Yeah.
love this guy. I'm loving this guy. I'm falling in love with this guy. Why am I falling in love with this guy? I'm falling in love with this guy.
One of my notes says she wants to see Gojo again, but in a simp kind of way.
In a simp kind of way. It's good.
But essentially, this is the scene you were talking about where I can't believe he said we weren't doing anything inappropriate. But what if we were doing something inappropriate?
Yeah,
She's going through
yeah.
all of these
She wants it.
emotions.
She's getting kind of she's getting a little thirsty. She's getting a
Um,
she's feeling the thirst.
but we get into a introduction of one of the other characters in the show, which I wouldn't exactly
Yeah,
call her a
yeah.
main character at all.
She's a supporter. I don't know. It
She's
depends
a
on how
support
the rest of the
character.
series
I
goes.
would say she's a support
Um,
character.
but for this,
Um,
I would say as far as the as far as the season's concerned, she is like a secondary character.
but I want to talk about that. Like, I don't know if you noticed it, Bobsto, but in this particular scene where the new girl is running through the rain, they click over to this really cool like flower scene, the really blue flowers.
Yeah.
Man, it was just really, really pretty, like really textured, really, detailed. I loved it. But that was just one of
Hmm.
my tidbits that I liked. Um, but
Yeah. That's all good. But no, so the Gojo house has a new visitor. It's raining, and a mysterious person runs in, and Granddad Gojo uh lets this person in to uh wait out the rain.
yeah, and essentially just take a shower, get dried up,
Yeah, because
and
this person is like drenched. So yeah, their clothes need to like they need to shower and dry off, unless they're gonna catch a cold.
but Gojo goes into fence mode.
So you go on.
Basically, Gojo goes into defense mode because he's like, "What do you mean you just let somebody into our home? Let me go." He runs to the bathroom where he hears somebody in there, taking a shower. But in his mind, he thinks it's just some random visitor who's trying to steal stuff from the shop and take advantage of poor old grandpa. And
Yeah,
he barges in at a very wrong
and we get
moment in time.
oh shit, naked girl,
Naked girl. And we say
naked
naked,
girl.
we mean it.
She's naked.
She
Listen. It's
they
if
leave
it wasn't
nothing to the
For Gojo's
imagination.
if it wasn't for Gojo's placement in this shot, you'd be seeing it all.
You
But
can
thankfully,
see you can see
they have
it.
some creative ways of blocking it out, where where
Um
Gojo is conveniently blocking certain parts,
yeah, Gojo's blocking certain parts. The center of his eyes are
including his
blocking.
eye. The center of his eyes. That's my favorite part about this. Is his
uh,
eyes are even blocking out the coochie.
Gucci. You said the coochie. Oh my
The
god, dude,
Christie.
the Gucci coochie.
Yeah.
The
So they're
coochie, you did
awkwardly sitting
not.
around the table. They're awkwardly sitting around the table, and uh, she's
Gojo
like,
is
"I want to see
just.
some of your, I want to see some of your dresses."
He wants to see some of your work or something like that. Um,
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, she's probably here for the Hina dolls."
yeah, and he's just like he's like, oh, it's great to see somebody who's also into Hina dolls and really talks about the stuff. And Gojo just goes on a full nerd out session about Hina dolls. Um,
Yeah,
so he gives her the entire tour of the entire place. And this girl is completely just going with it. She's like, "Oh, this is cool. This is neat. But why the fuck are you playing
yeah,
with
that's
me? Like, why am I staring at dolls?"
hmm
um, but I don't know if you
yeah.
caught this vibe, dude.
Um,
But
it,
her name is Juju, but Juju kind of gives me an Anya vibe. Like,
yeah, dude. She kind of does.
she kind of gives me an
She's
Anya
she's kind of
vibe.
like I guess grown Anya almost like if she was like in high school maybe.
Oh yeah,
No, I can see that. But she's like, I don't want to look at these dolls. Um, I want you to be my personal my cosplay maker.
yeah. So dressmaker.
And
Um,
yeah,
but Gojo is just like, oh, you mean that? Uh, but so upon
hmm
learning that
that's
who this girl is, Gojo's like, "Oh, cool.
yeah,
Kitagawa would really love this," and he texts her, and Kitagawa gets to meet her favorite cosplayer ever, which is Juju, of course.
yeah, and she is geeking the fuck out to the
Dude,
point
she
where she's
comes in.
overwhelming
Oh my god, dude, she gets all up in
for
this girl's
Juju.
business. Just
Yeah,
fully all up in her face, just crawling up to her, and man, but let's just talk about the potential new human doll that Gojo just got.
yeah,
um, it's just
hmm
overwhelming for Gojo because he's just like, somebody likes my work this much that they had to come find me. So, um,
yeah.
it's really
I
cool.
like how it's explained how she found them. She just basically stalked them throughout the
Oh yeah. um,
it was so good.
but that leads us
Um,
into the next cosplay
the
that
next
Juju
cosplay,
wants. Juju
yeah,
explains to him what
and so
she wants.
I,
Go ahead.
character's name is Shion, and it's from a basically like I say that this universe is like equivalent of like Sailor Moon. It's called Magical Princess Blaze.
Yeah,
And dude, I'll say that I love the scene where they're talking about the anime. It's just straight up like it's got the '90s aspect ratio.
it's
It
really
looks like
cool.
a '90s anime.
It's even got the overlapping hair eyeball thing going on
Yeah,
with older animes,
yeah.
which
hmm
something that you
This
can
just like
appreciate.
this. And I like how like sort of cheesy and like overly dramatic it is as well. It's
Yeah,
like it captures that like feeling of yeah, this is like what like a '90s anime sort of felt like.
yeah.
Um,
It was really
it
interesting
captured
what they
it
gave
very
off.
well.
But essentially, Juju's just
hmm
giving them this really cool background scene, which also Kitagawa is
Yeah,
nerding out over about this really
yeah. And at this
neat.
point, Juju is like thinking, "Oh man, she's probably not really into it. She's probably just like likes the cute characters or something."
But
And Kitagawa's just explaining everything. She's like, "Oh, you're actually into it. You're actually like a big otaku. You're not some
yeah,
like stuck up bitch."
Juju's starting to respect Kitagawa a little bit for her craft instead
Yeah,
of her calling her a whore. I mean, uh
yeah. Becky, she ain't no Becky.
she the real Princess Lily. Um, sorry.
That's good.
But
That's good.
essentially, that's the rest of the episode. It ends with the episode Kitagawa asking her to be uh, partners,
Asking, yeah,
basically.
she wants to do a dual cosplay where it's I was wrong about the character. The character name that she wants to do is Black Lily.
Yeah, I
It's like a
said,
alternate version.
yeah.
Yeah, Black Lily. And then the character she of Shion, which her evil version is called Neon, is the one that Kitagawa is wanting to do.
Yeah, but we didn't get into that till
Yeah,
next
yeah,
episode. But
yeah. But anyways,
the
they want to do a dual cosplay boy, and Juju's kind of a tsundere.
yes, yes, yes.
She is she's a small girl, but she's a big tsundere.
Yes, she is. She really only does things as well as a cosplayer that only fits
Yeah,
her height, which we did not discuss. She is very small, and she's a high schooler.
yeah.
She is very tiny. She
That's
looks,
where poor Gojo nearly dies there because like they're like, oh, she's probably like a younger girl, and that's when they find out, oh shit, she's in high school.
which at this point he felt less bad about seeing her private parts.
Yeah, and um Kitagawa also engages in a bit of teasing as well.
Oh yeah, Kitagawa was always
Yeah.
teasing, but either way,
But yeah, no,
that's the end of
that's episode 6.
yeah.
And
That's the
that
end of
this
part
is like
one,
the end
guys.
of part 1.
Yeah.
This is really good. Actually, I really so far like I really enjoy the series. I hope it gets picked up for a new season because
Oh,
I'd love
dude.
to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, because
But I know, like,
it's.
it got to the point to where you liked it so much that you bought volumes of the manga
I literally.
before we even finished watching the anime. I think we were probably at around this point when you decided to buy
I bought the
the
first four
volumes.
volumes of the. Which there's only six right now. I bought the first four volumes of the manga, which that's just
Hmm.
how captivated I was in the anime itself.
Hmm.
It's got it. It's not just all nude, like obscene
Yeah, no,
everything. It does have those moments. It has very good sexual tension in it. I say good sexual
yeah.
tension in it because they really portray it very well, and I can
I'd
respect the
say
craft.
it's very tasteful.
It's
I'd
very
say.
tasteful. It's very well done.
Um,
The animation's incredible. The graphics are amazing. The eye art's
mhm,
outstanding. The textures, the background art, man, everything in this
mhm.
anime so far as the graphics go, as far as the character development goes,
Yeah.
as far as the dub is, everything is spot on, perfect. And
Mhm.
I don't give a score like that a lot. So,
Yeah. In
um,
fact, this to give some further background. I believe I've told you this already, Red, but this is animated by Studio Cloverworks, which
you did.
one of their previous works was Fairy Tale.
Yeah, you did
And
tell me
also
this,
they're also one half of the studio duo that did Spy Family as well.
which I
But
found
like this
fascinating.
shows how far they sort of come between because Fairy Tale was like really like this is like 2013 or so.
Yeah.
Like that was like way back, and they have improved so much between then and now. Like Fairy Tail already looks like really good,
Yeah.
but it shows that they have honed their like craft over these past almost 10 years.
Yeah. It's really really good just the
Um,
type of animation that they made, but you can't
but no,
really go off of
um,
you can't really go off the fairy tale animation because it's so old.
yeah, yeah.
Given
Well, I'm saying that's what I'm saying is that it's just to show like how far they have come as a studio between one of their older works and their current works.
yeah, it's
Um,
fascinating.
mhm. But I still find it really funny that we covered anime from one of the studios that works on Spy Family right after we finished Spy Family.
Yeah.
Um, that's really funny. Uh,
Yeah.
but the last thing I'd like to say as well is I think that this one term I think me and the buddy who recommended this to me said on like our last visit when we were sort of talking about this. It's like so about like a week before we decided to cover this. Um, we described this series as being wholesomely lewd.
Yeah, it really is
Yeah, I
wholesome.
think that's what I would that's what I would describe it as because there's wholesome. There's a lot of wholesome scenes, but they're oh man, when it wants to get lewd, it's not afraid
It's
of
not
getting a
afraid.
little lewd.
It gets in there, and
It's very much not afraid.
we'll get more in depth
Um,
in the
yeah,
next part.
part two.
But given
But no,
that,
I really enjoyed doing this.
I did too.
I'm so excited to do part two.
Yeah, me too. Which y'all should be getting pretty soon. Once we
Hmm.
get this uploaded, it won't be very long that the next one will be uploaded.
Yeah,
We're going to try to fix our upload schedule for anybody who is following along. We're really working on it. We're actually ahead at the very moment in time. And
yeah.
just stay tuned. We're going to try to pump out a video every week. We're going to try to post something every Friday. But we might miss one here and
Hmm.
there just for, life getting in the way. But
Yeah.
it should
But
get
with
better
that
because
news,
it should get better on the fact of, my job's finna get a lot less crazy. I'm gonna be at home more, so we might be able to start functioning on a better schedule. So just stay
yep,
tuned with us. Keep going with us.
yeah. Other than that, I'm Bopsto, the Outer Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder,
and you just got done watching the
the
Anime
anime
Boys.
boys.
Anime
See ya.
Boys.
Peace
See
out.
ya.